Morning, Knicks Nation. We are in Dublin, Ireland this morning. And I did review the game from Monday. Of course, Dublin, Ireland is 4 hours ahead of the East Coast of the United States. So the game was 10:30, and in Dublin, Ireland, the game was 2:30 in the morning. So I actually saw, this is the game against the Kings. I saw on the plane the first quarter and a half. About half of the second quarter. Because I actually had streaming on the plane for the first quarter and a half. Lady told me it wasn't going to last. She was right, it didn't. But anyway, I reviewed the rest of the game. But of course, the most important part of this game, and by the way, excuse me if I don't do my normal introduction. I am not in my normal place. But the first part of this game was what the most important part. And that was generally, Jalen Brunson starts off getting the Knicks in the flow, right? It was Deuce this time. And we expected it because, again, the Friday night Deuce started. It was the second night of a back-to-back. No Jalen Brunson. It takes a second. It takes a little bit for the whole team, especially the rotation, to get in the flow of Deuce. Deuce ain't Brunson. So you got to get in the flow of Deuce. And it took a game. And then Monday, the Kings were in trouble because I mentioned on the preview of the game that nobody on that team could guard Karl-Anthony Towns. And I knew that definitely Valanciunas could not guard him. And what they did is they put Trey Lyles on him and they put even Keegan Murray on him. Smaller guys. Didn't help. But Deuce started off that game like gangbusters. It was G League Deuce. 15 points in the first quarter. And that was just to get the team flowing. And he did. And it was in the flow. There was no forced shots. And in fact, sometimes they were looking off of him. But in the flow of the game, he was killing them. And then, of course, defensively, him, OG, Mikal Bridges, the defense was up several notches. And then Josh Hart said after the game, they asked him about that. And he said, well, JB wasn't on the floor. And he was laughing. But he was telling the truth. And of course, I'm not in any way suggesting that they're better without Jalen Brunson. But the defense is definitely better. And how this goes forward is Mitchell Robinson was a big piece of the defense on Monday night. A big piece. In that, you look at his stat line, you're not going to see a lot. And there was a lot of knuckleheads that used to do that. He's only averaging so why don't we just trade him? See, idiots out here. But when you actually see him, and you actually see how he takes up the lane. And he had like 3 steals because he's running the floor and he's getting disruptive as well as protecting the rim. This is going to be a major game changer. I was predicting and expecting a juggernaut. We got a little bit derailed by that, obviously, but I think we starting to get in a little bit of flow. And the thing is this is what the Knicks look like, rested and healthy. Now, of course, Brunson is the exception, but they were rested Monday and they were healthy. The energy level was crazy. And this is what I mean when we're talking about playoff basketball. All the teams get a chance to rest and recover. Okay? Now, if you get a bad ankle sprain, generally, that'll mess you up. Or, we've seen that. Julius had the shoulder, but then he had the ankle sprain in the year that we destroyed Cleveland, and Mitch Rob personally destroyed their front line. Juju had a bad ankle. That could affect the playoff run, right? Somebody getting injured. But generally, in terms of without people getting hurt, in terms of rest, you get a chance to recover and you can come with energy every game in the playoffs. This is going to be very good for the Knicks when it's time for the playoffs because they'll be ready. You're going to see a Monday night version of the Knicks, okay? Especially if they don't get hurt. So that's what we're playing when nobody gets hurt. But they got everything they need. They got everything they need. They don't need no bench help. They don't need nothing. And they had the nerve to go add P.J. Tucker, the roughneck, to their squad. P.J. Tucker ain't going to complain about getting only 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever. He's going to be there, and he's already a positive impact on the whole team, just being on the bench with them. that veteran presence of the roughneck, of the toughness. He bring, if you remember, a lot of y'all remember, not too long ago, this is what caused me to get frustrated with some of y'all. We had Mook. Y'all remember Mook? We had Mook, one of the twins, Morris on our team. And he brought that spirit of toughness to the Knicks. He brought it, and everybody's toughness went up a notch because Mook was there. PJ Tucker's Mook 2.0 in that regard. He really does bring in a spirit of toughness and roughneckness to the Knicks. Not that the Knicks were soft before, although some people were calling them soft. I think y'all don't know what you're talking about. They was tough, but it brings it to a new level. The toughness, and this is, say what you want about Julius Randle. Dude was a roughneck. And in spite of the turnovers or the bad shots or the lack of defensive effort, all 100%, he was a roughneck, man. And when he was out there, the opponent knew they were dealing with a roughneck with Julius Randle. And usually, you want your roughneck to be your power forward. That would be the ideal scenario because that's the traditional enforcer type role, right? The Maurice Lucas from the Portland Trailblazers type role. That's the traditional enforcer type role from your power forward spot. But we got PJ Tucker. So like I said, he ain't going to play 30 minutes a game, but whatever minutes he going to give us are going to be good minutes because he going to bring that with it. This is exactly what you need going into the playoffs. You see, glamour teams and soft, pretty teams don't win championships. Tough teams win championships. And teams that are tough win championships on the defensive end of the floor. See, I know everybody's always whining about shooting, shots, scoring. That's cool. That's pretty. Makes basketball pretty. But that don't win you the chip. You got to get stops to win the chip. Okay? And that's why anybody that was mentioning a Tyler Kolek playing or Dadier at this time, y'all need to go study pro basketball. You don't win chips with no defensive playing players, especially rookies. Don't work like that. You need roughnecks, you need to get stops, and you need to get them in the most intense situations in basketball, the NBA playoffs. So that's what we have here. Monday night, Deuce came out. Deuce is a roughneck. 6'1", 6'9" wingspan of Cincinnati, tough. And the boy plays like that. Been like that since he came on the floor for the Knicks as a rookie. Been like that since he was with Huggins in West Virginia. That's him, by the way. So Deuce drops 21 on Monday, right? Our boy Quentin Grimes, just by the way, in the last 10 days, 44 points, 36 points, 35 points. 2 of those 3 were wins. No PG-13, no Embiid, no Maxey. I think these 2 guys worked out pretty well. What y'all think? So yeah, he dropped 35. They lost to the Leprechaun in them. The Leprechaun didn't play, but they lost to the Leprechaun in them. Close game, but yeah, he dropped 35 in that one. He was the only one doing business like that on both ends of the floor. Q-Dog. And then now we got the other one that came in that same draft, Deuce. Deuce was doing business and on both sides of the floor, and so it showed. They held the Kings to under 30% from 3 to 40-something% from the field. They were ridiculous on defense on Monday. And what's scary about it, y'all, as Mitchell Robinson continues to get in shape, and he gets a little bit better every game, just slightly, but it's stacking up. And as he continues to get in shape, somebody asked me, well, how soon do you think he'll be back to 100%? I don't know. I'm going to always be conservative on this. And if he, by April 1st, is back to Mitch Rob, that's like the last 2 weeks of the regular season, we're going to be all right. So that's coming. And so we coming. And now we are almost, we're missing a big piece in Jalen Brunson, obviously. But I don't think we in bad shape with Deuce running this thing. And we're all those stupid idiots talking about he ain't no point guard. He ain't no point guard. We need a point guard. You need a backup point guard. He ain't no point guard. Let Payne run the backup point guard. Deuce got it. Deuce got it. Deuce got it. It's Deuce time. And he can play the point or the two. He can do them both. And he can guard ones, twos, and threes. He can guard them all. Be all right. So I feel like we're in good hands. OG is now, he is just, I would say, in the last 2 weeks. And tell me what y'all think. I know you will, but I think we got the OG we got from Toronto last January. That that opening month and a half, 2 months before he hurt his elbow. We got that OG now. And did you see him? They called the police because he stole. He victimized Zach LaVine. Just picked his pocket and went the other way. That's OG. And he doing business. And he been getting 7, 8, 9 boards in the games too recently. Grown-ass man energy. That's another thing you need when you're coming into the playoffs. Grown-ass man energy. OG is built for that. That's what we need. Macau is doing what Macau does. See, some people were trying to make Macau into their image, which really would be a disaster. Macau is Macau. Macau is what you call plug and play. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes. He's not going to be a superstar, but he's going to be efficient in his scoring. He's going to be efficient in his defense. He's going to play a high-level IQ game. He's going to run the floor like a deer. That's Mikal Bridges, okay? Like I said, you got the road runner, and while Coyote coming after him, that's the road runner. He's going to do that thing. So that's what we need, and especially come playoff time. The lack of mistakes. And Tibbs said this just the other day. He said, when you're on the road, what you want to do is eliminate the things that cause you to beat yourself. Turnovers, missed defensive assignments. He said you want to reduce the things that cause you to beat yourself. This man's a brilliant coach. Anybody talking about fire Tibbs, you automatically booted from my channel. Just like some fool came in there on Sunday. Came in the room talking about fire Tibbs. It's like, what? And fortunately for us, he was the only knucklehead that hit the third rail on Sunday. I mean, we saw him come into the room. He jumped off the platform right away. We tried to talk him off the ledge, but the fool was determined to catch that electric current, and he did. So all them fire Tibbs knuckleheads on Twitter, please don't listen to them. This is a brilliant coach we got. Tough, brilliant. And yeah, he ain't win no chip yet, but that's why we got the team we got. The Don put the team together. The Don gave him the ingredients, and homie's preparing the meal. And he's a chef. Okay? Just like when we first got the Don, and y'all know, I was calling him the Don. He had that Corleone thing going from day one, and it took some of y'all like 2 years to see that vision. I'm telling you right now, Tibbs gonna get his chip. And he going to get it with the Knicks. Now, this particular season, they still getting acclimated. But even now, I got to say, though, they're going to Cleveland. They're going. 15 straight, and it ain't the first time they reeling off like double-digit wins in a row. 55-10. They good. They really good. And I ain't saying they're going to be no cakewalk now. I ain't worried about Cleveland. Not when we healthy and we rolling like this. Boston is tough, defending champions. I picked Boston to come number 1 in the East, the Knicks number 2. So here come Cleveland out of nowhere. I thought one of them would lose their spot. Well, it looks like right now the Knicks are solidly 5 games ahead of the Bucks. It's the Bucks, the Pacers, and Houston. I'm not Houston. Sorry, it's the Bucks, the Pacers, and Detroit are all tied for the 4th seed right now. All of them. Okay? And them 3 spots, 4th, 5th, and 6th, is gonna be a battle all the way. They're gonna be battle all the way till playoff time. But that's the Knicks. But Cleveland then already won the East. Forget that. Boston is solidly 5.5 games ahead of the Knicks in the 2nd spot. And the Knicks are in the 3rd spot. 5 games ahead of whoever the 4th place teams are. So that's kind of taking shape right now. You kind of got that. So the Knicks are trying to keep solid, basically. Keep that third seed. So the Knicks going to play the sixth seed, whether it's Milwaukee, Indiana, or the Pistons. They're going to play the sixth seed, whoever it is. And the sixth seed is well ahead of the seventh seed. The seventh seed, eighth seed, ninth seed, they battling for the play-in right now. It's kind of taking shape in the East. In the West, it's still all up for grabs except the top seed. Oklahoma City's coming out. They're gonna be number one seed in the West. There's no two ways about it. It's really, you want to talk about the second through the sixth. Actually, in the West, it goes all the way down to 8. Right now, the difference between the sixth seed and the seventh seed is Minnesota is a half game out the sixth seed. And so they're going to be a dogfight all the way to the end. And of course, because, Ragu is on that team and Juju's on that team, and they used to wear orange and blue, I'm rooting for Minnesota. So I hope Minnesota come and do their thing. They half game behind Golden State. And I can't stand Draymond Green. Just because of the stench of him, I hate Golden State, period. We played them Saturday night. But tonight, Wednesday, here it is in Ireland. It's Wednesday, and there's a game tonight. It's going to be 2 a.m. here. I ain't going to promise I'm going to hang out for no daggone 2 a.m. to watch the game. But I am going to see the replay. There's no doubt about that. I can guarantee you that. Get up in the morning and watch it. We leaving back to get back to the States tomorrow. So we doing our thing. So, yeah, that's where we at. That's what we doing. That's what's on. And that's what's up. Right now, the Knicks are looking very good. I like the way they look. I'm expecting energy in Portland tonight. I'm expecting energy. Portland is without DeAndre Ayton tonight. He's out with, I forgot what's wrong with him, but he's expected to be back soon, but he's out tonight against the Knicks. And Jeremy Grant, another big piece, is doubtful against the Knicks. So listen, you can't sleep on Anthony Simons. He's been in Nick Killer before, and they got the young boy Jaden Sharp, whatever his name is, that could jump out the roof, and he's becoming an NBA player, learning the game. So he's still a young boy too. So they're gonna be hyped to play the Knicks at Portland, and that's good. They need to be. We coming. Matter of fact, we here. You all enjoy the game. Enjoy your Wednesday. Shalom.